Hey, happy Friday, everybody. I'm sitting here with Don Hinton. He's a volleyball coach there in Virginia. How you doing today, Don?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, terrific. So wanted to take this opportunity just to, chat about your experiences traveling overseas with America's team and, what the benefits are for the kids. So I guess first off, where have you traveled with America's team?
I've only made one trip, but we made a trip to Italy a couple years ago and got to go to see a lot. I'd been to Italy several times prior, but I got to see a lot of places more in depth than I ever got to see in my personal travels.
Yeah. Awesome. So, obviously we play volleyball and do the cultural stuff, but for this question, let's focus on the volleyball. What's your favorite memory on the court?
I think the best memory I have was each time we played was when we merged our teams together. My team, we're decent enough volleyball players, but they ranged in ages from eighth grade to seniors in high school. So there was a variety of ages, and some of the teams we played, they brought out their best players, and they had really good teams. So we were playing these really good Italian teams, and so it was really the girls really had a lot of fun when we melded the two teams together, and now they're not only playing volleyball, but they're having to communicate not necessarily in English, but in hand gestures and other type of it. So they always had a lot of fun doing that, and we play each other regular matches initially, and then the end of the day we would meld our teams together, and I think they really got a lot closer to one another playing that way, to see that the sport transcends the language. It's was very cool to see.
Awesome. So yeah, so you talked a little bit earlier about going to see the sites and with the kids and everything. So off the court, what's your favorite memory of showing the kids that Italian culture and history?
I mean, there was a number of really cool things we got to do. Probably the most memorable, though, was when we got to actually have a sit down. One time we had a picnic of sort of where a potluck picnic. Obviously, we didn't bring anything, but all the Italian families of the teams we played brought different foods, and once again, the girls got to sit and visit in whatever languages they were speaking. Some of the Italian girls were trying to speak English, and some of our girls were trying to learn Italian. So that was a really very heartwarming experience.
Yep. So I guess I got two questions. So my next question would be, most of our kids, they're looking to go on to the next level and play volleyball in college. How does traveling overseas prepare those kids for college?
Well, I think that, I was in the military, so I served a lot of years overseas. So I had a great amount of experience being overseas. And I think it's very rewarding for these young adults, soon to be adults, to see other countries and meet other people and see that their sport, volleyball in this case, they could relate with the Italian players, and they made some good relationships. And then after we left, I found out that a number of the girls were continuing to maintain those relationships even after they got home back in the States.
Okay, well, great. So my final question is, what would you say to a parent thinking about letting their kid play overseas with us?
I think it's a once in a lifetime experience that it makes them much more mature. I think that particularly the older girls, but all the girls, I mean, whenever I see my former players that are now gone on to different levels of high school and college playing volleyball and so forth, when I see them, they tell me how much they enjoyed that trip and how meaningful it was to them. It's just one of their most fantastic memories that they have in any travel.
Well, great. Well, Don, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and sharing your experiences of Italy and being part of America's team.
Okay, good to do it, Brig. I wish I could. I'd love to do it again. Unfortunately, it's just now I'm coaching. I've gone down to, I'm coaching fifth graders now, and they're probably a little too young to be taking.
No, they're not quite ready. We'll give them a couple more years.
In a couple years, they might be.